as we take a look at our Corona Tale of the Tape Corona, who invites you to find your beach. You see that Mendez is 6 years older than Ramirez and has the height and the reach advantage, but just by a little. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Boulevard Resort and Casino here in Biloxi, Mississippi, Premier Boxing Champions now features the main events live on FS1, 10 rounds in the super lightweight division. Your three judges scoring this contest will be Keith Hughes, David Toronto, and Randall Valentine. And the referee in charge when the bell sounds, Freddie Steinwinder. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He comes in wearing the red, white, and the blue. His professional record, 24 wins, 12 of those coming by way of knockout against 5 losses and 1 draw. Hailing from San Juan, Dominican Republic, he is the former champion, Argenis Mendez. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. He comes in wearing the gray trim with the neon line. As a professional, his record, 17 wins, 11 of those coming by way of knockout against 1 defeat. Hailing from Chicago, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Eddie and Escorpion Ramirez. It's our main event. Eddie Ramirez and Argenis Mendez. Referee in charge, Freddie Steinwinder, will bring them to the center.
All right, look, you both received instructions. I want you to listen to my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch them up and good luck.
Eddie Ramirez, having suffered a defeat by Antonio DeMarco in October of last year, stated that the referee stopped the fight prematurely, but he's aiming to get back in the win column and prove he is a bona fide contender. Argenis Mendez, the former champion at 130 pounds, says that his best days are still in front of him, and he will claim championship gold here in the super lightweight division. Ray Flores, Robert Guerrero, Caleb Plant, Jordan Hardy here in Biloxi, Mississippi on this Memorial Day weekend. We hope you're enjoying your holiday and spending it with us here on this Saturday night.
Get up his head. Come on, break it up. Get back.
Ramirez, who hasn't fought since October, stated that he still has a bad taste in his mouth. He said he has no ill will towards DeMarco. He has ill will towards the referee for stopping the fight prematurely.
Came in going to work, working behind a jab, setting it up, picking the body a bit.
Nice right hand to the body of Ramirez. Yeah, he's definitely coming out, trying to establish himself, let it be known that, he's not here to play games. And, to not, leave in the ref's hands, let him get caught with a big shot.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job staying composed. The fight with DeMarco, he came in, gun-ho, swinging away, and that's how he got caught.
Very good fundamentals that is being displayed by Eddie Ramirez for Argenis Mendez. Last time we saw him was May of last year, a victory over Ivan Redkach, a fight that was full of fouls, but Mendez prevailed. When we asked him why he didn't want to stay at 135, he goes, look, at 31 years of age, my body is maturing, and I feel a lot better here at 140.
Yeah, he looks very composed in the ring right now, even though he got some nice shots landed on him, but he's staying really composed.
Nice lead by Mendez. Like Robert said, he's seems to be very composed, very relaxed.
As we approach a minute to go, a nice right hand that connected by Mendez. Mendez getting tattooed with a jab and a nice left hook that got through the guard and caught the attention of Ramirez.
Good feint. Nice feint. That's something I feel people don't do a lot these days. People have gotten away from the art of the jab and the art of the feint. It seems like a lot of people, they just want to throw big, right hands, big left hooks, or big left hands and big right hooks. Another good feint by Mendez, and then following up with the combination right after.
Mendez is a technician, make no mistake about it. He has had an extensive amateur career, fought Guillermo Rigondeaux in the amateurs as well. So That is, when you deal with that kind of opposition, even at the amateur level, that says a lot.
Yeah, that's what that experience is what gets you to that next level all the time, and that's why he was a former world champion.
Absolutely, just how we spoke on Nyamba having that pedigree in the amateurs.
And that is the end of round 1. So let's take a look back and revisit that knockout loss that Eddie Ramirez had to Antonio DeMarco.
Got caught with his hands down, right on the ropes.
Did you guys agree with the stoppage?
I think it was a bit premature.
One good shot. It seems as if it was a bit early. You know, the ref could have, you know, especially knowing these guys have, you know, fights under the belts, you know, top dudes. He could have, you know, given Ramirez a little bit more time just to see. It may not have made a difference, but, you know.
No, DeMarco's one of those guys that sneaks up on you.
Let's take a look back at Eddie Ramirez's last 5 fights. As big victories over Ryan Carl, Eric Bonet split decision last June in Las Vegas, and then that knockout loss at the hands of DeMarco. Ray Flores, Robert Guerrero, Caleb Plant, Jordan Hardy here. Ringside in Biloxi, round number 2 scheduled for 10. Robert, how did you score round number 1?
I scored round number 1 for Mendez. You know, towards the end, he started really countering, picking it up, landing some power shots. Thought he had the cleaner effect with more punches.
And a nice right hand that connects by Ramirez. And Mendez going backwards. Eddie Ramirez had an amateur career, an extensive one, but not to the pedigree of Argenis Mendez. Mendez actually fought Juanma Lopez along with Guillermo Reagan-Down, represented the Dominican Republic in 2004 in the Olympics in Athens. He actually made it to the quarterfinals. And Ramirez teeing off on Mendez. I don't know if Mendez is just languishing on the ropes or what.
Yeah, he's rolling and slipping and blocking. You know, you look at his face, he's really relaxed tonight on those ropes.
Absolutely, very relaxed. But one thing, he doesn't want to get caught up on the ropes too much tonight. With him moving up from 135 to 140 and Ramirez being the bigger, younger guy, he's not going to want to stand there and take punishment all night. He needs to, you know, use the whole ring. Even if he's not controlling the center, he's going to want to use the whole ring, slow the pace down, use his feints, and try and pick Ramirez apart.
A nice left hook to the body by Mendez to Ramirez. Robert, how long does it take for you to be able to adapt to a new weight class when you're fighting in this different weight category?
It takes about 1 to 2 fights, you know, to get comfortable in the ring. But you know, coming up from a smaller weight class, you know, you got to get used to those bigger punches. You know, the guys are heavier, the guys are stronger, you know, with their body. So, you know, but it also could be like Mendez said for himself. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, his body's maturing, you know, he feels better at the weight, feels stronger.
Well, Ramirez is only 25, Mendez is 31, but he has been in the game for a very, very long time, but he has not taken any abuse. He says he's a fresh 31.
Absolutely, you can tell his ring savviness, you know, his awareness in the ring. He's got good eyes, good footwork, good picking and rolling. So, I believe that for sure. He hasn't taken a lot of punishment.
I think he's walking Mendez down also too, or not walking Ramirez down because of I think he's seen that DeMarco fight and knows he can be hurt.
But Ramirez just backed up Mendez moments ago with a jab followed by a right hand as Mendez with his back on the ropes, and this is where
shoulder roll right hand. Shoulder roll right hand by Mendez. Beautiful right hand by Mendez.
Ramirez is in a world of trouble. And Mendez jumps all over Ramirez. And let's take a look back at the knockdown. My goodness, Eddie Ramirez down again. Let's take a look back here at this replay and how it unfolded.
Set it up, you know, he was laying on the ropes, ripped that uppercut right up the pipe, landed it right on the button.
There we go. Yep, it seems as if he did a shoulder roll right hand after he hurt him. He hit him with that uppercut. Hurt him. His legs are definitely wobbly.
George Hernandez in the corner with Eddie Ramirez. And let's take a look at the keys to victory. Go ahead, point it out, Caleb, for Eddie Ramirez.
Absolutely, for Eddie Ramirez is keeping his head out of the center. So whether it's defense or offensive, he needs to be punching with his head out of the center on his way in and on his way out. Also, he needs to be using feints on the way in to freeze Mendez so he doesn't get hit with shots like the shoulder roll right hand. And then last thing is cutting off the ring. We know Mendez is a slick, savvy boxer. He's going to be sticking and moving. Maybe not at this point, but as he's doing that, he needs to cut off the ring.
A big left hook, authoritative shot that went ahead and hurt Ramirez to start the third round. Another big right hand. It's target practice for Argenis Mendez. Ramirez still doesn't appear as if he has gathered himself and recovered.
Yeah, he hasn't recovered. He should be tying up like just the way he is, to get his marble back or get on his jab and start moving, dance around the ring a little bit. It's real dangerous when you're hurt and you're exchanging.
But Eddie Ramirez still in the chest of Mendez, and down he goes for the second time in the fight. Eddie Ramirez in a world of trouble against the former world champion. This would be absolutely catastrophic for the 25-year-old. And for Mendez, what a statement he would make here, debuting at 140.
Absolutely. That says a lot about a guy who's moving up in weight classes against a younger, bigger, hungry guy like Ramirez. And to come in here and stop him early like that'd be a testament.
And a guy that isn't known necessarily to exhibit that one-punch knockout power, but it just goes to show that you can never count out a ring general in Argenis Mendez, and if he sees opportunity, he will take it.
Absolutely. And it's the shots that you don't see. It's the ones that people load up on and throw from a mile away. A lot of times those aren't the ones that knock people out. It's the short, savvy shots like Mendez is showing.
Yeah, Mendez is in there like a technician right now. He's just picking what he wants to pick. And he knows on the inside that uppercut's right there, right down the pipe. Like you said, Caleb, with that shoulder roll and then come back with that hook. It's there all night.
Argenis Mendez training under Mark Farid, who has been with him for 4 years. They stated that a reason why they moved up to 140, aside from the fact that his body's maturing, is that they didn't get the calls at 135. So they said, look, let's go up 5 pounds and see if we get the calls. And lo and behold, Eddie Ramirez presented the fight. The fight was presented to him, and they both elected to take it, which is why we're here tonight. But Mendez has looked terrific.
Absolutely, Mendez is looking really sharp tonight. Even though he's dropped him twice, he's not, rushing or, lunging, smothering his punches. Lead left hook right there, he smothered a little bit. But other than that, he stayed really relaxed and calm. He's picking his shots.
Originally, Eddie Ramirez was supposed to fight Darwin Price, but Price pulled out because of an injury. And a left hook, and now Ramirez going back on the offensive. A right hand that connects for the 25-year-old.
I got you. Stop your punch. Step back.
Yeah, Mendez has that ring generalship right now. He's doing what he wants, when he wants. Fighting on the back pedal.
And that concludes the round. And Robert, let's take a look at the keys to victory for Argenis Mendez.
Well, my keys to victory are way off. He fought a different fight. I wanted him to come out, work the jab, get behind it, keep his distance, especially he was coming up in weight. And then, keeping that distance behind that jab was going to help him out a lot, but he changed it up. He's starting to go in and he's putting that pressure, and it's working for him. And then also too, I want him to box on the outside and counterpunch, which, he's on the inside and he's counterpunching. So, my keys to victory, he did a whole different thing.
Caleb, were you surprised that Mendez has totally changed around what we thought he was going to do, what he told us he was going to do?
Absolutely. We expected him to come in here, box, stick and move, slow the pace down. And right now, for, a majority of the fight, he's the one pressing the pace, throwing combinations, and, has given him 2 8 counts. So
what do you think he has seen against Ramirez that have enabled him to stay in the pocket more?
Probably his experience. He's been in there with a lot of top guys. This is something he probably does a lot in the gym. Even in the pocket, he's able to stay relaxed. If you're doing it in sparring, it's going to be much easier doing a fight. If you're not implementing those things into training, then once you get under the bright lights, you're definitely not going to implement them. So,
Argenis Mendez having fought Francis Bartholomew, lost his world title in the rematch dating back to July of 2015. Also, having fought the likes of Francis Bartholomew twice in again Robert Easter Jr., who's the IBF lightweight champion of the world.
Yeah, he has a great resume under his belt. All that experience right here, it's showing here in the fight.
And Mendez continues to press the issue as he chases Ramirez. And that was a right hand, and you could tell that Ramirez grimaced and did not like that right hand to the body.
Absolutely, but Ramirez, he's starting to take a little bit of momentum back. He's throwing sharp, crisp combinations. He's moving. His legs seem to be stable, turning over on his punches and stuff. So it seems as if he's recovering.
In preparation for Argenis Mendez, Eddie Ramirez used the sparring partner of Kenny Sims, who is based in Chicago, because of the movement that they felt that they were going to have to deal with Mendez. But instead, it has been Mendez who's been more of the power punching fighter on the inside. So one would gather, will Ramirez go now to boxing and try to stay on the outside?
Yeah, it seems like the tables turned. Ramirez was he was talking about that, he should have not came up and weighed, that he was going to impose his will on him. And, I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, right now it seems as if Mendez is starting to impose his will on Ramirez.
Well, the one item that is a universal frame of mind when it comes to boxing is adaptability. You have to be able to adapt. Things do not go according to plan. Even when you feel and it looks like things are going according to plan, there's always changes and adaptability, and Ramirez now is faced in that position.
Absolutely. Things can happen. A fight can change around within a second. We've seen that in the Deloach fight against Rosario. Justin, sticking a move in boxing and gets caught with a shot, and he starts to lose momentum, and things start to go downhill from there.
Yeah, Ramirez is getting on his toes a little more boxing, behind the jab.
But Robert, can Eddie Ramirez outbox the 2004 Olympian, someone who is as crafty and as elusive as Mendez?
It can be done. You got to work behind a good jab. You got to pick your punches right, calculate everything.
Big right hand for Mendez. And now we will send it over to the fourth member of our broadcast team. Here's Jordan Hardy.
Thank you, Ray. I was over in Ramirez's corner, and his corner is constantly yelling, keep your hands up. They notice that Mendez is coming down the middle, and they keep telling Ramirez, don't follow Mendez and don't get too close. They want him to just keep moving his upper body. They keep reminding him of that. Move his upper body, not just his feet, because that's a big target up there. If you're just still with your chest, you can still land punches there. They don't want him to push him back and just keep his hands up. And it's kind of almost, I don't want to say survival mode, but that's what it's sounding like over there, Ray.
Thank you very much, Jordan. That's George Hernandez going ahead and the lead trainer for Eddie Ramirez. So from what it sounds like, they are hoping that Mendez, or that Ramirez, sort of gathers himself, and then he can apply the pressure in the second half of the fight. It's almost like survive, and then we can really turn things up in the second half of the fight.
Kind of like starting over, let's regain our composure, settle back down, and, go back out there with the game plan that we wanted to start with.
But even though Mendez has lost 2 of 3, he is still so dangerous. As we see, the wins over Juan Carlos Salgado, the no decision to Rancis Bartholomew, he lost in the rematch by unanimous decision. Having defeated Miguel Vasquez, who is extremely crafty and durable, losing to Robert Easter Jr. on a unanimous decision to Luke Campbell, but also a win over Ivan Redcatch. So his resume speaks for itself.
Yes, all that right there, experience is what comes into play. And those are the type of fights you need to become a world champion. And, it shows every fight.
And once again, Ramirez dealing with adversity. He had it again in the fight with DeMarco, and now he is facing an uphill battle against Argenis Mendez. But with the will and the determination that Ramirez has, he is going to give his best effort.
Absolutely, he's going to put it all on the line.
Ramirez, known as El Escorpión, which means the scorpion in English. And a nice left hook to the body as Ramirez going downstairs, and it seems like that's what he needs to do, guys, in order to slow down the mobility of Mendez.
Yeah, Mendez is just walking him down.
Nice left hook right hand.
By a right hand, And Ramirez, down he goes with a vicious body shot. The third time Ramirez has hit the deck.
Beautiful left hook to the body.
You could tell immediately it was a slight delayed reaction, but Mendez with that pinpoint accuracy landed, and now can he finish Eddie Ramirez with just over a minute to go?
He showed a lot of savviness in this fight. He's dropped him with the shoulder roll right hand. He's dropped him with head shots. He's dropped him with body shots. That's a testament to his savviness and his experience.
It's those little nuances.
Shoulder roll right hand.
And Ramirez hurt again, and down he goes for the second time in the round. Can Eddie Ramirez survive this final 33 seconds? The corner Mendez saying he's done. Mendez looking to bring an end of the night to Eddie Ramirez here in the fifth. Ramirez bobbing, weaving. I'm surprised he's not tying up.
He's got that heart of a warrior.
It's almost like too brave for your own good. He should be tying up and not allowing Mendez to throw and find the opening. But Ramirez remains upright.
Work it out of there. Let's go.
And a left hook as Ramirez goes backwards. A big left hook to conclude the end of the fifth. What a big round for Argenis Mendez. And now I wonder if George Hernandez is going to have a conversation about possibly stopping the fight.
Beautiful body shot. Set that left hook up. Put him down. Then he came with that overhand right. Set that up. I think it was overhand right that hurt him first, and then he went down.
Argenis Mendez is getting it done in a variety of different ways.
Absolutely, like we spoke on earlier. You know, he's showing dimension. He's not just a one-trick pony. He has shoulder rolls, right hand. He's got a good body attack, a good jab, good defense, well composed. So,
Take it down.
Round 6. This one scheduled for 10. Argenis Mendez with 2 knockdowns in the 5th round. He put down Ramirez earlier in the fight as well. And a big shot to start by Argenis Mendez. And Eddie Ramirez seems hurt once again.
Ramirez thought he was jabbing. He reached for the jab, and the lead left hook came around the corner and caught him clean.
Yeah, I think Mendez is ready to finish him.
So George Hernandez in between rounds told Eddie Ramirez, you can still win this fight. So the thought process of possibly stopping the fight does not appear to be in the consciousness of the Eddie Ramirez corner. And now Ramirez with the big right hand. Ramirez going on the offensive, something we haven't seen in the past few rounds. A left hook. Mendez with his back on the ropes now comes forward. Ray Flores, Robert Guerrero, Caleb Plant, Jordan Hardy here ringside in Biloxi.
And there's definitely showing a lot of heart. You know, it'd be easy to just fold mentally and check out and, you know, get his check and go home. But, you know, he's still fighting. He's still putting himself out there. So that's definitely a lot of heart and a lot of will, determination by Eddie Ramirez.
It's how much do you want it? That is the question. And Ramirez, to his credit, has been knocked down several times, but still comes forward. And now he gets tattooed with the right hand.
Yeah, well, he knows he's been down 4 times already, so he's way behind, so he got to start making some ground.
But again, it's that one punch can change the trajectory of a fight, but he is absorbing some heavy shots here in round 6, as we have 80 seconds in round 6.
Yesterday, Mendez at the fighter meetings told us he wants to show the people tonight why he deserves to sit at the table with the rest of the top of the 140-pound division. And right now, he's showing us.
The right hand that connects both gentlemen in Ramirez and Mendez feel that a victory will catapult them into the top 15. They don't think a win will get them in the top 10, but top 15 for sure. Left hook there, and look at Ramirez come forward here in round 6.
Mendez is staying nice and composed, though. He's, you know, picking and rolling those shots off. Nothing's really landed clean. You know, staying relaxed. He's not getting antsy, tense, or tired or trying to fight back too hard. So
it's almost like he's playing possum a bit. You know, backpedaling, sitting in the ropes, trying to land those really tight shots on the inside.
Absolutely. He knows how hard Ramirez has to fight, to trying to get back in this fight. So
Ramirez attacking Mendez. And as we see with Mendez, he's so judicious when it comes to his body movements. He doesn't waste any energy.
Mendez is showing a lot of, Ramirez is showing a lot of heart tonight, coming back this round, really putting it out there.
You can never count out the 25-year-old out of Chicago. Round 6 is in the books. And we have a very busy summer for Premier Boxing champions. Coming up June 9th, the rematch between Leo Santa Cruz and Ramirez at the Staples Center. Premier Boxing champions on Showtime. The co-main event is going to be equally as compelling as Jermell Charlo puts his WBC Super Welterweight title on the line against Austin No Doubt Trout. Then one day after, it'll be PBC on FS1, and Saturday, June 16th, the homecoming for that man, the IBF welterweight champion of the world, Errol Spence Jr. against Carlos Ocampo, the #1 contender. Over 12,000 tickets have been sold in Dallas. It is going to be a crazy atmosphere down in Texas for Errol Spence Jr. Carlos Ocampo, and even that, the same crazy atmosphere at Staples Center 1 week earlier. Guys, it's like Christmas come early when it comes to the Premier Boxing Champion schedule.
Yeah, have a great schedule coming up. Boxing's exciting right now, especially the fights that have been put together. Man, I can't wait.
And we have had some exciting fights here tonight, some very memorable performances. And Argenis Mendez is hoping to put his mark here upon the super lightweight division, but Eddie Ramirez has to dig deep and is behind considerably by a big amount. Caleb, when it comes to Mendez, do you think that he is tired? Is he conserving energy, or is the youth starting to prevail here in the fight?
I mean, it could be a little bit of everything. It's the second half of the fight. He may be a little bit more winded, of course, than when he started. He's, staying relaxed, conserving energy, not trying to do too much too early. And at the same time, it's a little bit of Ramirez showing heart and trying to stay in the fight and not quitting. So.
Robert, are you surprised that Eddie Ramirez hasn't been attacking the body as much, especially in the early part of the fight? Against a mover like Mendez, attack the body, take away his legs, throw at the hips, try to fluster him to where he has to stay more stationary than usual.
Yeah, Ray. I mean, his corner should be telling him that also, because Mendez moves his head really good. So, the head moves, but the body doesn't, so you got to go downstairs.
A big right hand, Caleb, as you mentioned, from Argenis Mendez moments ago, and that caught the attention of Ramirez and it halted him in his forward progression.
Absolutely. Ramirez threw a jab, but it was a bit of a lazy jab. He brought it back down to his waist, and at the same time, Mendez was slipping the jab and throwing the right hand and landed right on the button.
I think right now Mendez is being the scorpion, He's the one that's just, as soon as Eddie Ramirez puts pressure on him, he backpedals, sits in the ropes, and then he strikes.
Boy, and he has a lot of venom in those punches, as Eddie Ramirez has hit the canvas on 4 separate occasions. That took to the body, and Ramirez came forward, and again, he got clobbered with the big right hand.
Another good left hook to the body by Mendez.
Well, the past couple rounds have been the aggression of Ramirez, but overall, it has been the Argenis Mendez show here in the fight.
One thing I like about Mendez is his punch selection. He's changing levels very well. So he's going to the head, he's going to the body. Sometimes he's pot shotting, sometimes he's putting combinations together, but he's got a beautiful punch selection.
And he's exemplifying different punches. The left hook and a big right hand by Ramirez, as Ramirez coming forward and really applying a ton of pressure here in the 7th. This is the kind of fight that he needed to make it earlier, but he wasn't able to settle into his game plan.
I think he was trying to, but then he ended up getting caught. And after he got caught, he was a bit rocked. So, they kind of played with him a little bit, knowing that he can get hurt by Mendez, made him kind of stay back a little bit.
A chance of Eddie here at the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino. That ends the round. And now we will send it once again to the 4th member of our broadcast team. Here's Jordan Hardy.
Thank you, Ray. So we may have thought Ramirez was fading away, but he showed us otherwise. And speaking of fades, Ramirez started cutting hair when he was just 10 years old and finessed his way into working at a shop by telling them he was only 18 when he was actually only 15. And in fact, he used to own a shop in Chicago in 2013 called Master Cuts, but once his boxing career took off, he ended up putting it to the side. And believe it or not, you guys, he said he still cuts hair on Saturdays. And Ray, I know you live in Chicago, but maybe hit up Ramirez next time, because I like you and all, but it looks like you could use a fade.
I see. You know what? I don't know if that's a part of my hairstyle, but maybe I will give it a try, especially as we head towards the month of June. Ramirez certainly is a technician when it comes to his barbershop and being a barber. He's trying to become a technician, but he's fighting a fighter who is a superior technician in Argenis Mendez.
I think you should go in and get a haircut like Metal Paez.
Not only Mendez and Ramirez throwing shots, but Jordan's throwing shots too.
Absolutely. Well, she is certainly a very crafty, is our own Jordan Hardy. Round number 8, this one's scheduled for 10 here on this Memorial Day weekend. That's a slip by Mendez, as it was ruled a slip by the referee in charge, Freddie Steinwander. And chance of Eddie echoing here at the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino, as the tenacity of Ramirez has certainly been favorable to the locals here in Biloxi. They love that attitude, that come forward ability of Ramirez.
Yeah, they love that fighting him, especially coming off the canvas 4 times. And he's coming back strong. They love that kind of stuff.
Well, Ramirez is so symbolic of what it is to be a Mexican fighter. He keeps coming and coming and coming. You can throw everything in the kitchen sink at him, but they'll keep coming forward.
Yeah, most Mexican fighters wear their heart on their sleeve.
You never did such a thing, Robert. You don't know what that means.
Part-time.
Argenis Mendez going back, attacking the body of Ramirez. Ramirez, close distance. We'll see if he goes to the body. He does so with the left hook. As we approach the halfway mark of round 8.
I think Mendez went back into that counter punching.
Well, Caleb, you pointed out earlier in the fight, Mendez varies his attack. Sometimes he's content to be a counter puncher. Other times he comes forward and tries to step to Ramirez. So he is doing various different things.
Absolutely, and like we said before, it just kind of shows his pedigree. Sometimes he's throwing punches out there slow to draw Ramirez in and then hit him with big counter shots. Sometimes he's leading, sometimes he's throwing combinations, sometimes he's pot shotting. Using his feints, he's digging to the body very well. So very well-rounded fighter. Ramirez, though, he's coming back. He's starting to gain momentum, takes some of the momentum away from Mendez, and putting himself back in this fight a little bit. So, if he continues to do this, let's see what the scorecards have to say.
Well, Eddie Ramirez has given a very strong account for himself. It looked like he was all, but the stoppage was going to happen very quickly. But he remained composed and went right back to work.
Oh, yeah. He came back, got off the canvas and went straight back to work. Even some of the rounds where he was really hurt, he still was fighting back at the same time.
Absolutely. And if you'll see Mendez standing in the pocket, shooting short shots out, kind of slow, almost halfway, half effort, and just to see if he can draw in Ramirez and throw big shots so he can slip and counter or roll and counter.
And now Mendez has Ramirez hurt again. A left hook to conclude round 8.
Nice cool right hand left hook right there.
As we go in the corner of Argenis Mendez with Mark Farid, his lead trainer. Mendez has been boxing for almost 20 years. He was introduced to boxing at age 12 by his father while still living in the Dominican Republic. He was taken to a gym in his hometown, fell in love with the sport, and never looked back. And let's take a look at the end of the round. That was small fence from Argenis Mendez.
Yeah, he really went to work, started off with the counter punch and then started letting his hands go. But Eddie Ramirez dodged a lot of those shots, he was slipping, bobbing, and weaving.
Well, Mendez looking to hold on for these next 2 rounds. But he has been in there for so long. When you've been there, done that, you know the lay of the land and what you have to do in order to conserve energy as you approach the final 2 rounds.
Yeah, I give those last 2 rounds to Mendez. I mean, he put in some good work. He got hit with some shots, but he also did put in some good work those last 2 rounds.
Absolutely, Ramirez. He's been hurt, he's been down, he's been hit with a lot of shots, but, he's not checked out. He's still fighting to win.
When Eddie Ramirez is a fan-friendly He's an entertaining fighter. And that is what he has exemplified here tonight. Even with the knockdowns and the fact that he's down big on the scorecards, he is still making this a dogfight and making it a rough night at the office for Argenis Mendez. Not making it as easy for him.
Yeah, he's not going out. He's going to go out on his shield or not finish out the fight.
Argenis Mendez going forward, and Freddie Steinwander, he rules it a push and slip, but Ramirez seems hurt once again as Mendez is starting to come forward as Ramirez retreating.
Nice
Big
right
right hand, echoing right hand by Mendez. But answering back is Ramirez.
Hands are free, we're still working.
Nice right hand that caught the left side of the temple of Mendez as we near the midway point of round 9. A left hook to the body by Ramirez. That connected, followed by a right hand.
I'm not sure if Mendez is sitting in the pocket trying to lull him to sleep and sucker him in by just, standing there in the high guard in the shell. Or if, maybe he's fading, maybe he's starting to get a little bit tired.
I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get him to open up, and he's trying to roll. He's trying to roll and land that right hand right down the pipe.
Another big right hand that connected by Argenis Mendez. 1 minute to go here in round 9. Argenis Mendez has certainly commanded the ring, and as they were on the break, a left hook there by Mendez. But as they like to say, you continue to fight until the referee breaks you up.
Absolutely, protect yourself at all times.
Throw it out there, come on.
Mendez is now measuring Eddie Ramirez, keeping his distance, and he is looking for that opening to try to land the final blow.
Yeah, he's walking him down, trying to pick him apart.
To be the stick and move boxing guy, he sure is cutting the ring off very well. That's a lot of another thing that I think people forget about is
and he got caught up in the ropes there on Argenis Mendez. And guys, I'll even say that Mendez looks to be a lot stronger here at 140. I think this is a smart move that this 140 pounds is his new destination, and he can make a mark here.
Oh yeah, well the older you get, the tougher it is to make weight, especially at a lower weight. So like he said, his body was maturing, feels better at 140 pounds, and it's showing tonight. I mean, he looks strong. Put Mendez down 4 times, and Ramirez down 4 times, and he's showing a lot of power.
Robert, does the power, is that a concern as you're going up in weight in terms of, is my power going to translate here at this new weight class? Can I absorb the shots from the bigger guys here, even if you are going 5 pounds north or 4 pounds north?
Definitely the power has a big part of it, because when you get a guy that's at that's his actual weight, he's going to have a heavier punch. He's going to have a heavier body. His bones are more dense. So, you're coming up. You want to have some kind of firepower to pull him, to stop him, or not. They just keep coming.
10th and final round between Eddie Ramirez and Argenis Mendez.
And not to play devil's advocate, but sometimes, someone like Mendez who's struggling to make 135, that could be hurting his power, could be hurting his conditioning, trying so hard to make a lower weight. Sometimes that can play against you as well.
Yeah, you're 100% right with that part too. I mean, when you do have to drop those extra couple of pounds, it drains you out.
Absolutely, it can take your power, your reflexes, your speed.
And guys, Argenis Mendez has never really been known, because another question when it comes to moving up is, will your speed translate? But Mendez has never been known to have that lightning quick speed. I mean, he doesn't have, it's not like Gary Russell, who I think is one of the fastest hands and fastest feet. But now look at Eddie Ramirez now. He's going back to work.
Yeah, absolutely, to go off what you said though, but he has great traps. He says great traps, and he's got great timing. If there's one thing that beats speed, it's timing.
Yeah, and then like you said earlier, Caleb was, he changes his direction, he changes his speed on his punches.
Absolutely.
Mixes it up. He has a whole different variety of combinations he does.
Yep, sometimes he puts something out half speed just to keep something in your face. Sometimes he puts out something half speed to draw in, to counter.
The left hook seemed to have Ramirez hurt. Ramirez was sort of covering up because he was lit up with a left hook from Argenis Mendez.
I think Ramirez needs to go for broke and go for that knockout. Give it all he got.
Absolutely go out on the shield.
Well, he may, if he does decide to do that and implement that philosophy, guys, he very well could go out on shield because Mendez has been landing at will here in the tank.
Yeah, he's landing everything he wants to land and doing what he wants to do in the ring.
Argenis Mendez, Eddie Ramirez, the 10th and final round. If you're just joining us, 4 knockdowns for Argenis Mendez here in the fight, 2 of them in the 5th. But Eddie Ramirez beat down on his mouthpiece and still comes forward. A big right hand that buckled the knees of Ramirez.
I got no. No wrestling. Let's go. Back it up. Let's go back.
Ramirez showed a lot of heart tonight.
Let's go back it up.
He has given his best, but he is fighting a former world champion and someone who is enjoying where he is fighting at here at 140.
Great head movement by Mendez up against the ropes.
Under 30 seconds left here in the fight.
All 3 times that Mendez has thrown a lead left hook from the outside, he's landed. And once he's really stunned Ramirez, that may be a good punch to finish out with, just to see if he can, close the show with a bang. Right there.
Body, a big right hand, literally on your cue, Caleb. Ramirez will likely end the fight upright, but it is Argenis Mendez who has dominated the Chicago native here in Biloxi. And that is the end of the fight. Welcome to 140, Argenis Mendez.
Yeah, he displayed a great power, great work in the ring. Looks a lot better at 140 pounds.
Welcome back to PBC on FS1. Here is some action from the fight. Argenis Mendez dominating.
Yeah, Mendez came out, laying on the ropes, and then he sneaks his little shots right in. He's getting on the inside. Beautiful right hand, put it.
Absolutely, even though he's the older, smaller guy moving up in weight divisions, he showed a lot of dimension in his games, a lot of tools in his tool belt, speed, power, angles, just a well-rounded fighter in the show tonight.
Well, Mendez was hammering away upon Eddie Ramirez, especially here in the 4th and in the 5th.
Yeah, picking that body, bringing it back to the head. He was changing direction every time. He didn't let Ramirez know where he was going, and he was just mixing it up and landing nice, beautiful shots.
But Ramirez gave a very good account of himself as he came forward and tried to remain in the fight, but it was Argenis Mendez who was too much.
Yeah, he just dominated the fight. Took charge, had that ring generalship, did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it.
Absolutely, but hats off to Ramirez. He stayed in the fight. He never checked out. He went out on the shield, so a lot of respect to him for, staying in the fight, trying to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at ringside, Randall Valentine, has it 98-88. Also, David Toronto has it 97-89. And also, the 3rd and final judge scores the contest 99-87 for your winner by unanimous decision, Argenis Mendez. So Argenis Mendez elevates his record to 25-5-1. A big victory as he now campaigns here in the super lightweight division.